Baal was an important god. He was worshipped in Canaan, an area in the ancient Near East. Canaan is now modern-day Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. Baal was a powerful god who controlled the weather. He brought rain for the crops, making him crucial for farmers. Baal was also a storm god associated with thunder and lightning. People believed Baal could defeat enemies, and he was a symbol of strength and fertility. Temples were built to honor Baal, and people offered sacrifices to please him. Baal's influence extended beyond Canaan, and his worship spread to neighboring regions. He became one of the most prominent deities and played a significant role in the lives of ancient people. The Israelites were different from their neighbors in many significant ways. Their neighbors worshiped many gods, each with their own domain and powers. But the Israelites believed in one God. This God was Yahweh. Yahweh was different from Baal and the other Canaanite gods who were often associated with specific natural elements or aspects of life. Yahweh was not a storm god nor a fertility god, but something far greater. Yahweh was the creator of everything, the heavens and the earth, the seas, and all that is in them. The Israelites believed Yahweh made a covenant with them, a binding promise that was central to their faith. This covenant was a special agreement, a sacred bond that defined their relationship with Yahweh. Yahweh promised to protect them, to be their God, and in return the Israelites had to worship only Yahweh, forsaking all other gods. They were not to worship other gods and were to be faithful to Yahweh alone, adhering to his commandments and laws. This idea of one God, a singular divine being, was unique in the ancient world and revolutionary for its time. Most people believed in many gods, each responsible for different aspects of life and nature. The Israelites' belief in one God shaped their identity, their culture, and set them apart from other peoples, influencing their laws, traditions, and way of life. Life in ancient Canaan was difficult. People faced many challenges and relied on the land for survival. They needed rain for their crops. When the rains failed, people worried and feared the wrath of the gods. Baal, the god of storms and fertility, offered reassurance. He promised abundant harvests and prosperity. When times were hard, people turned to Baal, hoping he would provide what they needed. The Israelites were not immune to these fears. They also faced droughts and hardship. They saw their Canaanite neighbors worshiping Baal and heard stories of Baal's power. Some Israelites began to question their own faith, wondering if worshiping Yahweh was enough. The worship of Baal caused significant problems for the Israelites. This ancient Canaanite deity associated with fertility and storms became a major stumbling block for them. They started to forget their covenant with Yahweh, the one true God who had delivered them from Egypt and given them the promised land. They built altars to Baal, turning away from the sacred altars dedicated to Yahweh. They offered sacrifices to him, hoping for prosperity and good harvests. This idolatry angered Yahweh deeply. In response, he punished the Israelites for their unfaithfulness, sending droughts and other calamities to remind them of their covenant. The Bible tells numerous stories about this ongoing struggle between faithfulness to Yahweh and the temptation of Baal worship. One of the most dramatic stories is about the prophet Elijah. He was a devoted prophet of Yahweh, known for his fierce opposition to Baal worship. Elijah boldly challenged the prophets of Baal to a contest on Mount Carmel. He wanted to demonstrate to the people who the true God was, Yahweh or Baal. The prophets of Baal prayed fervently to their God, asking for fire from heaven to consume their sacrifice. Despite their desperate pleas, nothing happened. The sky remained silent and empty. Then Elijah prayed to Yahweh with deep faith and conviction. Miraculously, fire came down from heaven, a powerful sign of Yahweh's presence. It burned up Elijah's sacrifice completely, leaving no doubt about the true God. This miraculous event showed that Yahweh was more powerful than Baal. The people were awestruck and believed Elijah. They turned back to Yahweh, renewing their faith and commitment to him. However, the struggle between Yahweh and Baal continued for many years. The Israelites kept getting drawn back to Baal worship, seduced by the promises of fertility and prosperity. They found it hard to resist the allure of the Canaanite gods, leading to a continuous cycle of sin and repentance. The struggle with Baal worship had a lasting impact on the Israelites, shaping their identity and beliefs in profound ways. It shaped their history and religion, influencing their laws, traditions, and cultural practices. They learned the importance of remaining faithful to Yahweh, their one true God, amidst the temptations of surrounding cultures. They realized that turning to other gods had consequences, often leading to turmoil and suffering. The prophets of Israel played a crucial role in this struggle, acting as messengers of divine will. They reminded the Israelites of their covenant with Yahweh, urging them to return to their faith. They warned them against the dangers of idolatry, emphasizing the need for spiritual purity. The prophet's message is still relevant today, echoing through the ages as a timeless lesson. It teaches us about the importance of faith, commitment, and the dangers of straying from our values, no matter the era. The story of Baal and the Israelites is a reminder that faith is not always easy, but it is essential. It is a journey with challenges and temptations, requiring perseverance and dedication. But it is a journey worth taking, leading to a deeper understanding and a stronger connection to our spiritual roots.